Welcome back, Star Citizens. Buzzkiller here, and today we're looking at the latest and largest ship to be released into our hangars, the Starfarer by Misk. Now, just through this door is the new expanded hangar that's designed just to hold the Starfarer. So let's go ahead and open that up. And right away you'll notice there's quite a difference in the color palette in here. Whereas most of the hangar has wooden floors and blue carpets, this has a more industrial floor, orange carpets, and orange highlights. A lot more bare metal in here as well. But it looks really good, and of course it has to be huge to house this behemoth. Very, very nice. Now I'm going to have to level with you. This is my second time doing this video. I recorded the entire video and my audio wasn't picking up. So we're doing this again. While it's not going to be as genuine with the excitement as it would have been if I'd watched, if you'd heard my original audio, we'll have to make do. But hopefully in this video you'll get some better angles that you haven't seen before on the ship. Now, I do a lot of in-depth ship tours. I look at everything. So if you're looking for a short video, this is not the place. I am going to be going through the ship with a fine-tooth comb. But before we do, let's take a look at this hangar some more. You notice the floors are very different. We've got some bare metal floors here. It's got its own little workstation and its own control room back in the back. Even the front hangar door, which is freaking massive by the way, is a little bit different. It's got the gray with the white and the orange highlights, and even has lighting on the locking mechanisms, which is pretty damn cool. I think all of them have the lighting on the locking mechanisms now, but it just looks really nice. I like it. It's a nice touch. And then there's this monster. Man, this ship is freaking huge. And I'm going to power up my controller here. Hopefully that sound doesn't get through, but so we'll have a bit of a smoother experience as I walk through the ship. Now at the very front of the Starfarer is of course the gas collection grid. That is your main intake for when you're collecting hydrogen from gas giants to be processed into fuel. Now with the Gemini, which I actually own, this is a loaner ship. The Gemini has a missile pod that goes here. Though I probably, with my Gemini, I'll replace it with this because I want to harvest fuel. Unless I'm doing some kind of big operation with my org where I'm providing support, then yeah, I'll have the fuel scoop on there. Here's our massive size 4 cannons on this unmanned turret. Just like the one on the Freelancer, just a lot bigger. More huge intakes. And of course underneath, here's your main airlock slash docking collar. And you'll see that from the inside here shortly. The level of detail, the materials on this ship are absolutely beautiful. Down to the rivets, the dings, the worn metal. These ports everywhere. Piping. Just an amazing level of detail. I like the rivets. I love the streaks on the metal coming back from the intakes. These landing gear. Whew. You really get a feel for the size when you're standing next to these. And that's insane. Not sure why there's an intake in the landing gear, but why not? Now, if you saw my Freelancer video, which is another MISC ship, MISC likes to brand their ships, and you'll see MISC logos everywhere. Looks like the ship's moving a little bit on the pad. Maybe because I'm standing too close. Danger. This gear is remotely controlled. It may start without warning. It doesn't look like it has very far to go. But yeah, it could still hurt. Here's one of your maneuvering thrusters. You'll see these all over. I don't know if... I guess they aren't fixed. They might move a little bit. But then you've got these larger grates. And at first I thought these were intakes, but I'm thinking they're actually thrust nozzles for like taking off and landing in atmosphere. Because this ship is freaking heavy. It weighs like 350,000 kilos. Empty. Imagine with a full fuel load and cargo how much this thing could weigh. I love these pressure fittings. With the bolts. You can even see the threads. It's got a gasket. Don't tell me I just locked up. No. Okay, good. And of course, this first tank, first two tanks on the front, is actually a refinery. So it's got some more pipes going in and coming out. Really great level of detail. It's more detailed than the other tanks. Almost like a heat sink on the side with the way it has the cut-ins like that. But that is your fuel processing. You've got pipes going everywhere. These great orange, caution orange pipes with metal junctions. Even that little candy cane stripe is pretty cool. And of course you have your main fuel tanks here. Now if you're watching this video right after I upload it, I'm recording this in 2K. I'll upload it in 2K, but it may take, this is going to be a very long video, so it's going to take YouTube hours. Oh, look at these data plates. That's different. It's got the length, width, height. No, length, width, weight. But yeah, no smoking sign. Great. But yeah, this video will eventually be in 2K, 60 frames. I'm pulling about 55 to 60 frames in the hangar right now. It's looking really nice. Here's some turrets. These turrets are actually different. And the ones on the Freelancer almost look like a Retaliator turret. It looks almost the same. Now these are a little more branded. I mean, it looks more like a MISC turret to me. I like the ball glass on it. I like the fact that it's bare metal. And these gantries, man. These struts. And of course you can see the spoiler up there. Now it's not an aerodynamic spoiler, of course. That is a structural piece. You got to imagine how much weight is going to be on these, or how much mass is going to be on these arms. More MISC logo there. And of course the gantry, it has some, looks like foot rails there to keep, maybe grab onto and 0G? Unless that's a additional piece of railing or something for the fueling arm. I don't know. Maybe it slides out and goes further? No? I don't know. Very nice. And of course, here's the main door. Now check out this button. It's like a big emergency button. Actually modeled in. Very nice touch. And of course this animation is just... wow. That's a big ramp. Again with the MISC logo. But look at the materials. Look at this worn aluminum. Really nice. The rivets, the fastening points, the dings. See, this is the level of detail that I love from CIG. This is amazing, beautiful. I mean, I could just about forgive them for the delay in me getting access to the ship. It's gorgeous. And of course, here is your main cargo bay. Let's go ahead and close the door. I know you've probably seen this on other videos, but it's still an animation worth watching. And those sounds. Oh, man. So here's your cargo bay. Now, supposedly this cargo bay will carry about 3,300 standard cargo units. And of course, here's your cargo mag locks in the floor. You could fit some ships in here. There's no doubt about it. That door might be wide enough for an M50, but you definitely should be able to get a Merlin through there. You could probably park, on this pad alone, you could probably park one of your Merlins. So you could probably get 4 Merlins in here easy. 5 if you really crammed them in. Now the ship is not completely symmetrical. There's no door on this side. There is a door on that side going up. You have 12 jump seats. Of course, with the MISC logo on them. Really cool panel here. Ventilation release. I'm guessing that's for maybe some oxygen masks, like in airliners. Possibly. Another little button there. And this insulation material, it's like the ones they use on, like NASA uses on their satellites. It's that gold material. It's a little more copper colored here, but beautiful material. And the texture underneath it, really nice. I mean, they could have just put standard pipes in here, orange pipes, but no, they went the extra mile and made them this reflective material. So cool. There's a backwards MISC logo there. Control panel. Insula. I've seen that somewhere else in the ship, but I'm guessing that's the brand of insulation. Let's go ahead and move forward into the hallway here. This is ripped almost directly from the Freelancer. Really carries the MISC theme forward. The cargo netting. The cloth on the sides. That cloth material is great. And of course, here's your main docking collar airlock. You've got cubbies here to put your environmental suits, because on a ship this size, you're probably not going to be wearing them the whole time. Emergency first aid kit there. And of course, there's the door going out. Pipes and access panels on the roof even. Capacitor control. I'm not sure. Maybe for weapons? Some kind of power capacitor, I guess. Man, the ship is beautiful. Okay, let's move on. You've got some kind of unit here. You've got the pipe coming in. It almost looks like part of the fuel processing. At first I was thinking it was lockers, but this has got to be part of the refinery. That the initial raw gas goes through. Some lockers for personal storage, or that cargo netting. Another MISC logo. More on the ceiling. Panels everywhere. Look at button panels on the ceiling. I can't wait to see this repair system. It's going to be pretty amazing. Wow. I mean, even though this is my second time through this ship, it's still... Whew, it still amazes me. Alright, we're going to go by floor. Now I'm going to go by the American system, where the bottom floor is the first floor, and we are currently on the second floor. There are 4 floors to this ship. 4 decks. I believe this is a capacitor. I've seen it somewhere else in the ship, where it actually said capacitor on... Oh, there it is. M30 capacitor. I'm guessing this is some kind of airlock, because you see the vents everywhere. And it makes sense, because this is the door that leads out to the gantry. You've got your window. We've got a little bit of Z fighting on the window. You see some Z fighting here and there. There's a few lighting issues. And the scratches in the window at that angle are kind of annoying, but they're trying to sell it as a used ship. Now, maybe when you first get the ship, these scratches won't be there. These scratches may accumulate over time unless you repair your ship or keep it maintained. So hopefully those won't be there on a brand new ship. So if you don't like the scratches, keep your ship maintained. Okay, here's the main fuel gantry. Of course, here's your processor again, your fuel refinery, control panel for that, and some kind of box here. I'm not sure what we have there. There's another one of those pressure fitting, pipe fittings. The gasket, those great bolts with the threading. The inside's not completely smooth. But I mean, nothing's perfect. It's early ship. Another MISC logo on that big transfer pipe. Really cool. That's just... I don't mind the branding. MISC is proud of their ships. Heck, we're walking on MISC logos. We're walking on thousands of MISC logos. You couldn't even begin to count the MISC logos on this ship. Of course, your main fuel tanks. Now, I thought that you would have... Oh, wait, there's another access panel. Didn't see that before. Now, I thought you'd have a control panel here to control the fueling arms. I thought that's where you're supposed to stand to control it, but maybe they've moved it. Maybe it's internal now. Maybe it's part of one of the bridge crew. Bridge crew's position. This is panels, of course, controls that tank, and you have a panel for this tank. You can see the window, and there's that spoiler again, slash strut. Massive TR4 main engine. There's 3 of those. And this area is going to have gravity, but it is not going to have air, of course. You're not going to have oxygen here. It's open to space. Now there's 2 elevators on either side that go up, I believe, to the 4th floor? Or is it 3rd? I don't recall. But we'll see those later. I want to finish the 2nd floor first. Here's something else I noticed earlier. On ships this size, you need a floor plan, some kind of map. And there you go, you can see the ship's not 100% symmetrical. That's a really cool map. A lot of ventilation panels I've noticed, and MISC logos in every corner. I won't point them out, keep pointing them out, but I'll look at them. You'll see them. There's your upper level. More ducting on the ceiling, buttons, pipes, buttons, or I said buttons, control panels. There's a ladder on the other side that goes up to the maintenance. You can kind of see it over there. Of course, this is your cargo manifest computer. Might be used for other things as well. Engineering station, possibly. Nice. Markings, I guess. Oh, don't lock up on me. There we go. Escape pod, or escape 01, because this is the escape pod room. And in here you have 4 escape pods and equipment lockers. Inside your escape pod you have a survival kit that's hidden behind these panels. And this thing really does, it feels like a coffin. Now I don't know if I prefer this over the bed type, but I guess in space it really doesn't matter, because you'll probably be in 0G after you eject, unless this thing does have some kind of gravity. Maybe the gravity switches to the where you're in the laying position. It's another one of those maps. Now, that's one of the lighting bugs you'll see. It pops in and out. Some Z fighting there on the buttons. You'll see that here and there. There's some there. That is a escape pod shell, and then you have the actual door that closes over it. Another first aid kit. And here's the bridge. Yes, this is a bridge. This is not a cockpit. This is a bridge. Look at these switches. Got 2 stations back here with a single hollow projector and 2 screens. Access panel, ducting, ventilation control. The captain's chair. And these big, huge swooping helm. More switches. Displays everywhere. 4 displays. 3 hollow projectors. Probably one in the middle somewhere. Maybe it's up on top. But more switches. Really nice. Now I'm going to do something that we haven't seen in any of the other videos. And that is do an external fly around. Of course, very similar to the Freelancer cockpit. Visibility is meh, but this is an industrial ship. I mean, you can't have the best of everything. This is not a racer. It's not a touring ship. It's not a combat ship. You don't need the greatest visibility in the world. You're going to be collecting gas and ferrying it from one place to the other. So let's go to the external view. Not that one. That one. There we go. Switch over to mouse and keyboard here, because I can actually control the zoom. Well, not really. Maybe I will have a smoother. Yeah, smoother with the... There you can see the huge main gun. That's the man turret on top. Those, I believe, are more size 4 weapons. So I think those are the same weapons you have on the Freelancer there. The, what is it, M6As, I believe. And the ship really has a hunchback profile, doesn't it? That may be what I name this ship when it's in game. Once I have my Gemini, it'll be the hunchback. See the windows? It's almost a nod to Star Trek there with the NC-774. Of course, the Star Trek, the Enterprise is NCC-1701, but pretty cool. There's that main engine. We just passed through the spoiler. Look at that view. Tell me that does not look like an industrial ship right there. That, it looks like an oil rig. I like that you can see in the windows. Alright, where's the mouse here? So I can zoom out. Oh. There's your side thrusters. And I love the material. I love the bare aluminum with the dings and the faded sections and the scarring. the huge MISC logo on the side. She may be a hunchback, but she's still beautiful. Alright, let's go internal. Now I'm pretty sure when I exit this seat, I'm going to fall through the floor. But maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. Well, I didn't even fall through the floor. I'm outside the ship. This is pretty cool. Take a look at those cannons. We've seen these cannons before. They were initially on the Freelancer. I think they switched them out for the Scorpions. I wonder if I can jump up here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There you go. Now I can take a really good look at that turret. Come on. Get up there. Come on. Oh, man. Look at that. Oh, it's so worth recording this video just to see this up close. Come on. That is the biggest turret we've seen so far. And of course it has a MISC logo on it. Oh, this is so cool. Another intake. It's one of your main maneuvering thrusters there. I mean, look how big the ship is. Well, that's cool. The expanded hangar has its own control, because this is not the central hangar. We are on the far left of my hangar. When I first spawned in, I saw a Constellation Andromeda. I'm like, no, they didn't get me my Starfarer. But then I realized, oh, it's all the way down the left. Oh, look, there's your escape pod. Escape pod hatches there. Nice. There you go. I promised you some unique angles. And there you go. Alright. Let's head back inside. We'll start looking at the third floor. Actually, I can do it by starting off in the... I might be able to make it to the fuel. Oof. Perfect. Oh wow, they actually put force feedback in on the Xbox controller. I felt that. I don't use a control pad very often. Okay, so you have several access routes. You've got the lifts on the back, this ladder, but we're going to go up the stairs. Here we go. Notice the lighting change. Notice the color palette change. They've done that to help you know what section you're in. Right now we are in the maintenance section. Downstairs is cargo. This goes forward to the lift. For the living quarters. And of course, if power is out, you can go up and down the ladder. I'll do that later. The ship is not completely symmetrical, as I said. So we'll go down this way and we'll come back up the other way. So here's your first crawl space. This is an engineering section. A lot of access panels in here. Probably even some in the floor. I haven't really looked down below the floor grating. I like the lighting in this room. It really sells the heat that has to be coming out of these systems. Here's your rear escape pods. Of course, we saw the access or the hatches up on top for those, where those eject. And now we're walking down the main left spire. There's another crawl space, pretty much the same as the other. Again, looking out the window, looking out over the gantry, the fuel pods. You can see the other window across the way. It'd be cool to invite someone in the hangar, have them wave at us from there. And here's your rear turret access. Now this is a MISC turret, but it does use the same system. Looks like it got a couple capacitors there. It does use the same system as the Retaliator in that it flips you upside down, which can be a little bit disorienting, but it gives you a much better view. And you want that view when you're using a turret. Okay. Now I'm going to try to recap some of the stuff I said in the previous video, or the previous take of this video. Where you've got your main engine room here. This is probably your primary reactor, your power plant. And I like that it's sealed off from the rest of the ship, sort of to keep the radiation in if something goes wrong. I mean, I can just imagine doing a Star Trek role play here, where you have Spock on one side of the glass and Captain Kirk on the other, wanting to open the door, and Bones says, "No, Jim, you'll flood the compartment with radiation." "He's dead, Jim. He's dead." Poor Spock. Of course, in the new movie, the tables are turned, aren't they? And of course, here's our capital class gravity generator, straight out of the New Horizons map. I can't wait to see this thing animated. It's going to be so cool. Here's your other airlock, and this is a really cool ducting. I haven't seen this anywhere else in the ship. It looks almost like one of those contamination what do you call them? Like biohazard tent or something, air duct. But it goes from one place to another. Doesn't fill the room unless it comes out here. But these are the elevators that go down onto the main gantry. And if I can... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I done messed up. I jumped instead of pressing the use button. Because I'm using a controller, and I never use a controller. Well, give me a moment. I'll restart, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. I had to completely restart the client. Sorry about that. But here's the elevator, or the lift, depending on which country you're from, that takes you to the main fuel gantry. And that's why you have your pressure suits in there. So let's go ahead and head back up. No audio on that elevator. And of course, more storage for your EVA suits. Some control panels, another capacitor, another panel on the ceiling even. Oh, that beautiful gravity generator. And then of course here's your access to the main power plant. That's what I'm assuming this is. I don't think it's part of the engine. Man, but that looks like a futuristic diesel generator. Like one of those huge inline 4 or 6 cylinders just pulsing with power, you know? Oh man, it's beautiful. Jim, the ship. Out of danger? Sorry, I had to. And now we're on the other side. Oh, my controls are acting a little bit funny here. Come on. Sorry, I'm not used to using a gamepad, but I thought it would give a smoother experience. Now again, I don't think I said this before, but the video will be in 2.5k when it fully processes. Okay, this is a unique crawl space. I crouch with a controller. And that you actually have to go prone to go through it. Kind of like a little Jeffries tube. And this is a ladder that goes up into the 4th floor, living quarters, and that one goes back into the cargo hold. And we'll come down those later. I'll show you those. And we're back at the main junction. Of course, this is these over here, the stairs coming up. And forward of here is, again, the elevators into the living quarters. And I said we were going to use the ladder this time, didn't I? Let's do that from an external view. Very nice animations on these ladders. There are some issues with the hands clipping through the rungs, but other than that, I mean, they work seamlessly. There's no use button involved, so that can be a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is you may grab them when you don't want to. The good thing is you don't have to. You have a use button to go up a dang ladder. You have full control of your character. This is, of course, the seat that goes up into that big main turret on top. Notice another lighting change. It's much brighter, much more hospitable in here because this is the living quarters. Here's your main galley, complete with your space garbage disposal and a biohazard sign. Yeah. What are they cooking that they need a biohazard sign on their garbage disposal? Worse than the chef if you can't do that on television. What was that guy's name? Barf. Barf! If you're watching this, you're probably too young to know about that. Nickelodeon. Look it up. You can't do that on television. Just don't say, I don't know. This looks like it could be a sink, but there's no faucet. There's no drain. Maybe it flips over? I don't know. These almost look like industrial microwaves. Maybe a coffee maker? It needs a coffee maker. Oh, those are vents. Okay, so this is probably a cooking surface. Huh. Of course, your nice dining area. It almost looks like these tables are designed to, or the table and bench is designed to retract into the floor. That would be pretty cool. I like the skylight. Kind of see out of it. And some kind of fold down serving tray here. I'm assuming a pantry. And of course, here's the captain's ready room. I'm going to go Star Trek again, guys. And of course, the captain's stash. We all know the captain has the best booze. Why am I getting stuck? Why can't I go forward? There we go. The captain's stash. And apparently the captain likes to stand behind his desk because there's no chair here. He has a nice control panel. This almost looks like, again, Star Trek, guys. This looks like Commander Worf's security station on the Enterprise D. Really cool. Of course, MISC branding everywhere. The biggest MISC logo on the ship, aside from the one outside, is in the captain's quarters, of course. Some kind of bench there. Maybe storage panel, bookcase, I don't know. And, of course, we can't forget the captain's whoopee. I bet they modeled this after a blanket they found somewhere, because that is... I'm going to have to look for that now, because that's too cool. I like the little design. Little spaceman. Looks like something he stole from a daughter or his son. Oh, the captain has a window, I think. Yep, you kind of see outside past all the reflections. And then the captain's latrine, or head, depending on which branch of service you're from. Bathroom. For my civilians out there. Towel rack. Dual faucet sink. Shower. Toilet. Of course, this is where the captain leaves his log. Captain's log, stardate 269.32. I had corn. Oh, the captain's log. I slay me. Of course, no one's probably watching this video right now. They probably turned it off by now. But we'll keep going, just in case there's a few of you here to experience my horrible Star Trek references and bad jokes. I like this room. I like the paneling in this room. This is a engineering room for sure. And then, of course, access down into the crawl space with another pretty cool seamless animation. Again, you see the rungs kind of clipping through his hands. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't do that. See, that's the downside. And let's go to a third person for this one. I like how he jumps off at the end. Whoa. Stay down. Okay, maybe I would prefer to use button, at least to gain access to the ladder. And then use your controls to go up and down, and then press the button again to get off. There you go. That might be a good compromise. But that brings us back into the main cargo hold and the end of this tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you saw something maybe you didn't see before. I know the video was pretty long, but thanks for bearing with me. Again, remember, I am on Twitter now, so give me a follow. The link to that will be in the description below, or you can click on my YouTube banner if you want to see what I'm working on. Got my new t-shirts in. I've got a picture up there. If you want to see my ugly mug, you can see me smiling my ass off and pointing at my t-shirt. Anyway, yep. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like and or subscribe button. And until next time, this has been Buzzkiller, and I'll see you guys in the verse.